Hi, everyone. My name is Jesse Robbins, and welcome to LPLE from Dialogue FM. We're the podcast that lets you practice listening in English. We speak English slowly and clearly so that you can follow along and understand native English speakers more easily. I'm excited to help you improve your English listening skill, as well as help you learn new vocabulary, grammar, and idioms commonly heard in conversations among native English speakers. If you want to practice listening in English, then we invite you to join our conversation. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jesse.
Happy Lunar New Year.
I'll say thank you, mostly on behalf of all my students from Asia.
Exactly. And to all of our listeners who are celebrating the Lunar New Year, we want to wish you a very happy new year, a new year of prosperity, of health, and success. And of course, equally as important, a year of improving your English ability. The Lunar New Year is an important holiday, and because we live in Seattle, and because we have such a large community of Chinese and Vietnamese, there are many opportunities for anybody in the area to celebrate the Lunar New Year. This year is a fun year. This is going to be the year of the rooster.
That's your year, right?
That's my year. I am the year of the rooster.
And I am the year of the pig. And I can't quite remember when the next one comes. But nice to meet you.
Yeah, indeed. I'm the year of the rooster. This is going to be my year. Also, I have a new son soon. Not yet, but my wife is pregnant, and we will be having a boy. And the boy will be born in the year of the rooster, which is exciting.
Just like you. That's fantastic. And I seem to recall that you also have a bunch of chickens living upstairs from you who give you eggs.
Every day, absolutely. Every day I receive fresh eggs from my 7 hens upstairs. I love chickens. They're a lot of fun. So this year is going to be a very fun year. Well, I understand, Jane, in your class, you have a lot of students who celebrate the Lunar New Year. Is that right?
Absolutely. And if I weren't already aware of the Lunar New Year because we live in Seattle, I would certainly be aware of it in my classes because the majority of my students are Asian. And around this time of year, they are either a little bit sad because they're not with their family, or they are on their cell phones when they shouldn't be, observing the New Year's celebrations back home.
Well, in that case, you and I were talking about some similarities between the Asian culture and the Western culture, right? And in particular, you were talking about the similarity between the Lunar New Year and some of our important holidays.
I think the main thing that I've noticed from my students is what I mentioned. They're used to being with their family. They're used to lengthy celebrations. They're used to special food. And I think that for them to be here is a little the same as it would be for us Americans to be in Thailand during Thanksgiving, we would feel a little strange, I think.
That's very true. During our holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, we usually associate those two holidays with being with family, right? In fact, the airports are always packed with people the 1 or 2 days right before Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Exactly.
Everybody is going home for the holidays. And for people who are living abroad for the first time, you're right. It might feel uncomfortable and maybe even a little bit sad if that person cannot be with their family during the holidays. So many of your students are probably feeling the same way.
Yes, I think they feel more homesick than usual. Indeed.
I have a really special memory about the Lunar New Year. So remember, my wife is Vietnamese, and a few years ago, we were living in Vietnam.
Yes.
So we had the luck to be in Vietnam during the Lunar New Year, which means we were able to celebrate the Lunar New Year like a local Vietnamese. We had that really special cultural experience.
So you spent time with the family. Did you travel, or was everybody together in the same city?
Everybody was together in the same town. When we celebrated the Lunar New Year, we were living in Ho Chi Minh City. We got on a bus and traveled 6 hours. Yep, that's a long bus ride. 6 hours to my wife's family's village.
How exciting.
It was fantastic. And
what did you do?
Well, that's a good question. In fact, I was asking my wife that a lot. So what is the celebration? What can I expect? See, when I celebrated the Lunar New Year with my Vietnamese friends and my Chinese friends here in Seattle, the celebrations are usually pretty big. We have a big event in Chinatown for the Chinese community. The Vietnamese community has their own special 2-day Lunar New Year celebration. So my expectation was that it's going to be really big and singers and performers and lots of food. That was my understanding of how to celebrate the Lunar New Year.
Yes.
However, that's not the case in Vietnam.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody goes back to their hometown where most of their family get together. And it's nothing but relaxing and eating good food and meeting with old friends and family. Very similar to
Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
So no gifts or anything?
Not that I recall. My wife and I bought a small fruit tree for her grandparents, but there's no exchange of gifts like Christmas. There is, however, the tradition of the older people giving lucky red envelopes to the kids.
With money inside, right?
Exactly.
So that is the New Year. Okay.
Yep,
Yes.
exactly. So if we talk about giving gifts, then it's usually from the older generation to the younger generation. Usually kids and teenagers receive the lucky red envelopes with money. So we had a very relaxing time. Just go to our neighbor's house, have a great conversation for a couple of hours, go back home, take a nap. The family gradually comes over, and then at some point we have a delicious dinner together. We drink beers, we relax. That's it.
Sounds really nice.
So we can understand why some of our international students feel homesick.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it reminds me so much of Thanksgiving, where we really do nothing except get together, relax, and have a good meal.
You know, that's something that felt very new for me. When I think of celebrating, or when I think of traveling, I always have that feeling that I need to be doing something.
Yes.
Going somewhere, exploring, learning, taking lots of pictures. The idea of just relaxing and being with people you enjoy without having to have a schedule or be somewhere or do something, it felt very calming and peaceful. So I can see why the Lunar New Year is very important for our friends in Vietnam and China. These are friends who work very hard throughout the year, and now they have a national 4 to 5 day holiday where they can just be with friends and family and do nothing.
Except drink and gain a little weight, probably.
Hey, that's
sounds great.
So again, to all of our friends and family, and to you, all of our listeners, again, Happy Lunar New Year, and thank you so much for being a part of our listening community. We hope you have a very fun time with your friends and family, and we look forward to sharing more stories with you in the Year of the Rooster. Thank you for listening to this episode of LPLE. Let's practice listening in English from Dialogue FM. Subscribe to LPLE on iTunes to hear the latest episodes, or listen to past episodes on our website, dialogue.fm. That's dialog.fm. If you have questions or comments about English, or if you would like for us to use a word, grammar, or idiom in our conversation so you can learn how to use it correctly, we would love to hear from you on Twitter at dialogue.fm or Facebook at facebook.com/dialoguefm.